Hi, this is Scott from Scott Vogel Guitars. Today I would like to talk a little bit about how easy it is to spray CrystaLac Universal White, Universal Gray, or Universal Black primer and base coat. It's super easy. All you really need are two ingredients, and that would be your choice of Universal White, Gray, or Black, and some CrystaLac Retarder Reducer. The reason for the CrystaLac Retarder Reducer is because it's really tough to get the paint to flow through your gun, especially for those of us that are using maybe a little bit smaller gun or a smaller nozzle. I use this Iwata LP H80, and it's got a 1.2 millimeter tip, so it's got a pretty small opening. I think CrystaLac probably recommends using 1.5 or larger. So if you've got an HVLP or an LVLP gun that's got a larger tip, you probably shouldn't need to reduce it much, but I would recommend at least a 5% reduction. Now with my little guy here, I'm using a reduction of 15%. So typically when I'm working with spraying guitar bodies, I'm going to mix 100 milliliters of the Universal Primer and Base Coat with about 15 milliliters of Retarder Reducer. That seems to flow really well through this little guy, and I get a really nice even coating, and it sprays really well. I really like this gun because there's almost no overspray. Its consumption is super low, and yeah, I can do 3-4 coats with maybe 100 to 150 milliliters of the primer base coat. So I just mix that up, pour it in my gun, and then I get to it. Now with this gun, I'm only using about 15 PSI, maybe even a little bit less than that. And so, the flow rate is really low. So if you're using a larger gun, yeah, you're probably gonna need a minimum of 150 milliliters of the base coat primer, or maybe even a little bit more. You're going to want to check on that. But again, it flows really well, coats really incredibly well, and you get a really good final product.